All right, hello, and welcome everybody to Random Thoughts of Stupidity. I believe this is episode 7, although you probably never seen it or heard or seen any of our other episodes, so that's really irrelevant.
Yeah, it don't matter. We're putting it out there.
Random Thoughts of Stupidity, and that's what you're going to get, random, stupid thoughts.
Completely random and stupid thoughts.
Right. All right, so first thing I want to ask you about is you said you got some new vaping stuff?
Yep.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, I got a new kit. More powerful one. It's charging right now, so I actually have the, what the hell's it called? Atomizer or whatever. Connected to my old battery.
An RDA, rebuildable dripping atomizer?
Sorta. I just had to add coils is all.
Yeah.
Got a new tip for it with a wide mouth.
I don't think that, they expect you to be able to build the whole thing. I mean, that's the whole point. That's what I like to
Well,
use.
they did add the kind that you could rebuild the whole thing.
Well, that's what I have.
I just didn't think, I wasn't willing to spend over $100, so.
Oh, is that made in America at least?
I don't know. I can't see the thing from here.
I have a Tobe, T-O-B-E, atomizer. It's pretty neat. It's got the little heat fins on the top, so it don't get,
Yeah, I was shocked though that the atomizer actually fit on my old battery for the my Elite or whatever the hell it's called. Clayton Elite.
Titan Elite.
Clayton.
Clinton? What?
Clayton Elite.
Clayton. That's what I keep waiting for is, like, the place you go, do they have what they call box mods? It's pretty obvious.
They got everything, dude.
And they have, like, all these different themes and everything, but I'm looking for, like, something, like, anime themed or something. They never. I guess I'm the only one that coming around that's interested in. Well, what I was interested in is you said you got like a wide bore drip tip.
Just get the the tip that you suck on.
Yeah, drip tip.
A plastic one that's wide mouth though. It's real hard plastic.
Yeah, a wide.
And it's red.
Wide mouth, wide bore, whatever it's called.
Yeah, where you actually get a good huff and puff going on there.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, what's the benefit of that? Because I definitely seen them, but I like my drip tip is the old school style, and I like it like that. It's got the same like when you put it in your mouth, your lips are kind of doing the same thing it would do around a cigarette. It's about the same diameter.
Yeah, that's what I had. Although the one that came with this one here was metal, and I kept feeling like I was going to break my teeth off, and I've broken enough teeth off falling, so I don't need to lose any more.
Well, this one's made out of plastic.
Yeah.
See, now
hard plastic. It's marbled. Looks like it's marbled red.
Yeah, see,
kind of cool.
That's the cool thing about vaping is there's so many different options as far as devices and flavors and drip tips and atomizers and mods and it's almost like music, whether you like 80s hair metal or classical music or jazz or R&B, everybody, all those
gets their pick.
Yeah, everybody gets to pick what they like the best. See, I like a metal one. I'm the type of person that I like my soda out of an aluminum can. I love that taste and feel of metal because I am metal. I listen to Manowar, motherfucker. I am a heavy metal motherfucker, and I like the metal.
I drink from a metal can, but I have to use a straw now, otherwise I get clunkers.
Oh. But I like the metal. I know, like other guys, they like the glass. Now I'm a real klutz. So, but I would definitely prefer drinking from an aluminum can than I would from a plastic, where they like 12 ounce, 20 ounce, whatever. You go to a convenience store.
I'm drinking from a 25-ounce plastic bottle of Arizona vapor water.
Arizona vapor water. Is that in any way related to vaping, or is it?
It's how they purify it.
Oh, it's like distilled water.
Yeah,
Okay.
boiled and then it comes back down
Yeah, I know what.
after Well, I'm explaining for idiots out there that are like me. They can't remember basic anything.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm like real rough on my shit. I've dropped this thing like a bazillion times. That's why I go with the metal, and I prefer metal over glass. And as far as plastic, for me personally, I know that plastic is a petrochemical, which means it's
Hmm.
made from petroleum that's from the ground. And especially if you get it really hot, I don't know, I just get paranoid.
Well, this is just, this doesn't even get hot. What gets hot is, down towards the very bottom where it's all metal and some kind of tempered glass.
Oh, well, I've been.
But you can completely take this thing apart and even wash out the glass.
Oh, well, and like I said, and I also like the smaller drip tips because they get more of a draw of like a cigarette or other smoking devices. If you get my drift.
Yeah. Well, I'll just flat out tell you, this is probably like a bong. And I'm not trying to be, you know what I'm saying.
I don't want a big thing in my mouth.
Oh, you've had plenty of big things in your mouth.
Hey now. But yeah, well, I've been experimenting with different coils. Like I usually use, they hook me up with a 28 gauge Canthal wire, and I've been doing 5 wraps. That gives me 0.44 to 0.47 ohms. But I did get a.
Oh, on mine you can actually adjust the voltage.
Oh, you have a regulated device.
Yeah.
My device is unregulated because I prefer the style over the. There's too many fucking buttons,
Well, it's just a knob down at the bottom. You twist it to what number you want, and the higher you turn it, the more vape you get.
I have what the fuck are they called? A twist, not an ego. I forget the name of the company, but I have a twist where you can.
This is Asper, I think.
You have a variable voltage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with those box.
And also, it's got a variable airflow in it too.
Yeah, well, my atomizer has a variable airflow because it's got little tabs that come up, and I can spin it and whatever like that. But I went to the vape shop, my local vape shop, Preferred Vapor. I really like that place. Everybody's really cool there. And they hooked me up with 25 gauge Canthal, and I did 5 reps, and I got like 0.22 or 0.25 ohms. And I was getting massive vapor production. But the whole thing, the mod itself, the atomizer, and even the drip tip, and my atomizer has heat dispersion fins, kind of like a radiator.
Yeah.
And it was getting
radiator.
Radiator. Because it's got rats in it.
Yeah.
But the thing was getting I was getting massive vapor production, but and I was going through juice like crazy. So I went back to the other coil, and the slightly higher ohms. I'm still sub-ohming it, but the whole thing was getting like fucking hot, so hot you could barely hold it, and it was making me paranoid. Because mine's an unregulated device, and I didn't want my battery to fucking blow up or some shit like that. So, and then you said you got some different e-liquid.
Yep, I got Jade Kiss and Orange Burst, and the flavor I got the last time was Fire Drop.
Fire Drop. Tell me about Fire Drop.
It's cinnamon.
I have Honey Bears. It's almost like the Honey Grams.
Yeah.
And that's got a cinnamon in it. I mean, and again, it's a matter of personal taste. I don't like. I like cinnamon in my. Brown sugar cinnamon in my oatmeal, but I don't like vaping cinnamon. It's a little too harsh.
Well, this is like cinnamon and menthol.
Huh. Well, just the cinnamon is like kind of, and I mean, it's only a little hint of it, but for me, it's really overwhelming, especially if you eat anything spicy, like an Italian hot sausage. Yeah, hey, now we're back to putting sausage in my mouth. Uh,
Well, you remember, especially when he came over and tried eating food I cooked, how hot I usually made it, how much peppers I used and everything.
the
So
thing is,
I can take the spice.
well, I'm not a pussy as far as it comes to eating spicy foods, but in my older years, I've discovered I don't mind eating it. It's what happens like about 16 hours later.
Well, when it's coming out,
Yeah. I don't mind it on the front lips, but the back lips, oh man, that burns.
don't phase me. I get this hot ass chicken down here just so it can. I don't have to buy your medicine for my sinuses. Because after a few bites, it's all out.
And then the middle flavor you said was orange something.
Orange burst.
That's pretty
That's what I'm
self-explanatory.
smoking right now.
You're
Yeah, it's
vaping.
again. All this is menthol stuff I got, or from the menthol selection.
Right, but you're vaping, you're not smoking. There's no combustion.
Yeah, I'm slowly giving up smoking again.
Oh,
Instead of going cold turkey, I'm easing off. Because the last time I went cold turkey was back in 2005.
before there were vaporizers out.
Yeah, I kind of gained weight, and also that's when my thyroid stopped working, and probably also around the time the MS started up, because that's when I was starting to lose energy,
Oh.
like not having the energy to do anything.
But now that you got a better device, you probably have a more likelihood to be able to finally kick big tobacco.
Yep. Like I say, it's taking 3 days now to smoke a pack, maybe more, 3 or 4.
Well, I smoked cigarettes for about 18 years. Wanted to quit probably the last 6. And the last 3 years, I know I was smoking a pack plus a day.
Huh.
And
I was just smoking a pack a day.
Yeah, well, and
Well,
I'm not.
till I became disabled, then I think I went up because I didn't have work.
Yeah, you don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Well, I was, and I'm
So
like,
I tried forcing myself to only smoke one an hour.
right.
And I gotta say, thank God I didn't have a computer, because back, around 2002 or whenever, and I'd be working on the computer in Photoshop or
Yeah, you
whatever.
have a butt burning in your mouth.
Yeah, I was pretty much chain smoking.
Yeah, me too. And when I smoke cigarettes, I wasn't like my mom. She'll light up a cigarette, take a couple drags, put it in the ashtray, and then like when she comes back, the thing's like halfway burnt. She'll take a couple drags, put it down, and then there'll be like 2 more drags left. No, I was smoking the thing from the fucking front of the cigarette to the butt, like, and then be done one.
Oh, you know what? I had to friggin' switch to 100s because regulars were too small. They burned out too quickly. I'd smoke through them in like 2 minutes, if that. But with a 100, it took me 10 minutes to smoke it.
Yeah. I tried doing that too, and I tried smoking half a with the hundreds, the longer ones. I would smoke half at a time, chink it, and then wait as long as I could to light it back up. But of course, it would taste horrible.
Eh. When I worked, I'd put a lot out and wait till I got out of work.
Well,
I usually waited till I got to my truck so I could sit down and relax and take a drag, and then go, God, I hope I don't have to pay to get out of this parking lot.
Well, I hope you have success in finally breaking the habit. Let me know.
Well, like I told you, I quit for like 2.5 years. Then an idiot at work drove me to the point where my stress level was so high, I just went up to the one girl I worked with and go, "Can I bum a smoke off of you?" It's like, it's been what? How long now? Like 2.5 years. But I need one.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to beat this guy with one of the trash cans.
ECW style.
No, I'm talking about one of the theater trash cans. The ones wrapped in, plastic bin wrapped in metal, trying to look fancy.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
back then, I could have beat him with it. Now, I'd be lucky to beat him with the trash bag.
a wacky noodle.
That's still too heavy.
Really?
A plastic bottle can make me its bitch now.
Oh, we'll get into that later. But well, I wanted to quit smoking for like the last 3 years that I was smoking, but I would be all stressed out about wanting to quit smoking that it made me want to smoke.
See, I didn't do any of that. You know what I started doing when I quit? I put a damn toothpick in my mouth.
I'd be afraid that I'd swallow the toothpick.
Oh, I got big ass toothpicks, and I'd go through them like crazy.
You just break 2x4s over your head.
Yeah.
Remember that cartoon from back? I think it was a Tex Avery cartoon where they're chopping down big redwood trees and using one tree to make one little toothpick.
Yeah.
Oh, the tree huggers would be losing their brains over that one. That's not funny. All right, so from on to vaping, I want to talk real quick. This is a little vent rant just for me. I'm going to talk about assholes.
All right, talk about assholes. I'm gonna watch the Muto kill a bunch of people here.
Okay.
Godzilla's on HBO, so.
Oh. Well, I can't say under not contract, but whatever. I can't say where I work and then go off about it, but I'll just say I work so that this makes sense. I work at a place that has a lawn and garden center where they sell plants and flowers and whatever. And a delivery had just come in with I don't know if anybody knows what 6-packs of flats are. The fucking annual flowers, and they're in the little 6-packs. And the lady's like, I'm looking for impatiens. And I was like, oh, they just came, they just got delivered. They're still in the carts. I haven't had a chance to put them on the tables yet. And I take her to the impatiens. That's the type of flower people don't know. And I go, here they are. And she's like, oh.
I just thought that's what I had.
Oh,
Impatient.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's what they fucking call them. I'm sure they got some type of like Latin name. Corrigula, blah, blah, Almanosis Maximus or some shit like that. But here they are, and there were like 3 different colors. There was like white and red and like a light pink. And she says, and that's why I asked you this before on Facebook, typing how you pronounce salmon. Do you pronounce the L in salmon?
Salmon.
Salmon. She's like, I'm looking for salmon. And I'm like, well, this is what we got. And she's like, but I'm looking for salmon. And I wanted to stick my hands in my pockets and pull, the insides of my pockets out and go, well, I ain't got salmon, you dumb cunt. Like, what the fuck did she expect me to do? Whip out a fucking Harry Potter wizard wand and fucking magically, this is what you got, Take it or leave it. Then they had this other asshole. He was looking for help. He had questions about his tree, and I was like, I don't know. So I hook him up with like the fucking department manager or whatever. And I'm over here in the conversation. He's like, and he was some foreign motherfucker. He's like, my tree is dying. And she's like, okay, what type of tree is it? He's like, I don't know. She's like, is it a maple? And he says,
oak,
willow. He's like, it's dying, and I don't know if it's bugs or drought or what. And she's like, is it a maple? Because they have like a lifespan, so they might just.
Dogwoods do too.
And
Mine's dying.
and he's like, I don't know. And then she's like, is it a Japanese maple? And he's like, I don't know. And then me and one of the other employees were kind of far enough away where he like kind of said under his breath, he's like, call a fucking tree surgeon, you asshole. And I just start, right? I want help with my tree, but I don't know what fucking type of tree I got. But I want you to help me for free. And it's just like fucking people, dude. I cannot fucking stand fucking people. And that's my rant. It was better. You had to have been there.
Now I know what kind of trees I've got in my yard.
But the place I work, there are literally dozens of different types of. There's annual flowers, there's perennial flowers or plants, there's fucking shrubs, there's fucking this, there's fucking that. And they have a little sidewalk out front, and I'll be out there working or whatever, and people, they'll pull up, the lane that's at the front of the store, if anybody's ever gone shopping ever in their life. And they won't even get out of their car, and they'll go, yo, buddy, you got fucking red geraniums? And it's like,
well, like you're selling pretzels in the middle of the street.
What? There's fucking literally, there's dozens of species of plants, and then they all come in different sizes. You might have like little ones at 6-packs or 12-packs or 9-packs, and then fucking 3-quart size pots, and then fucking hanging baskets, and then fucking baskets that sit on the ground. And you think I'm Data from Star Trek, and like I just know in my brain. If I got a fucking specific fucking color of a specific fucking type of a specific fucking plant in a specific fucking size, how do you know if they're red or not? Pat, if you were shopping at a store and you were looking for a red geranium, how would you know if it was red?
I don't know. Maybe because it's red.
Right, you fucking look for it. Fucking look for it yourself, asshole. At least try looking for it, and then if you can't find it, ask me.
Yeah, I usually don't like to deal with salespeople until I need something.
Right.
That once I've spotted what I needed, if I can't find it, then I will finally ask.
And then, like,
You know what I hate is the fact that, simple, like, you go into fucking Walmart and want to get a USB drive or flash drive, and they're fucking almost locked up on the hangers, like you can't pull them off.
And you can't find anybody around the fucking magnet key to unlock the shit. That's when
Best Buy didn't have this shit, but Best Buy started sucking, and I'll say that.
That's when you pull out your pocket knife and you cut the fucking top of the package to where it goes to the little peg hole, and you just fucking rip it off. That's like that commercial for the razors. I just want to grab.
Oh my god! I finally saw those, and they're annoying as fuck.
They're like funny the first 3 times you see them, but
they're not even funny to me. You know what I see?
What?
Go to fucking Walmart. They're not hooked up there.
They are in those plastic fucking vaults.
No, they're not. Not at mine.
Oh, at mine they are.
You just reach in, grab them, toss it down, and go along your way.
At mine
the only things that's locked up is electronics.
At mine they are. They're like maybe, the things are like the size of a pack of cigarettes, and they're in this giant plastic fucking thing that's like the size of I don't know, like 5 times the size of the thing that's in it. And when you ring out, and then you do the self-checkout. That's another fucking thing that pisses me off. Listen, assholes, if you do not know how to operate the fucking self-checkout lane, stay the fuck out of the self-checkout lane.
I don't know how to use them. That's why I don't use them. I usually find the 10 items or less, or just pay for it back in electronics.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that. Or you can go to the lawn and garden center if somebody's in there, if it's during the season.
That's too far away.
Well, it depends how the
And
store.
my path usually goes to,
Right, you're buying.
health, uh, then maybe some supplies, maybe over to the grocery section, then on the way back to the electronics section.
Right,
Because
you're buying.
chances are, if I buy something back there, they're going to have to take it all the way up front, so it's just easier to buy it there and let them deal with it there.
You're getting something for your computer, or you're getting a DVD or a Blu-ray or a video game or some shit like that. So I have no problem with that. But the thing is people go to the self-checkout lane because the regular cash register lines are too long and the cashiers, quote, aren't fast enough. But I guarantee you, unless it's their first fucking day, they're a lot faster than these motherfuckers.
Yep.
Stop leaning on the fucking scale, you assholes.
Mine, when I used it, it wouldn't register anything. And I wasn't even standing on it or nothing like that. And I did that once, like, what, 5, 6 years ago? I'm like, it's like, when you have a bad experience with something, you never touch it again.
Tequila?
Like,
Tequila?
no, Southern Comfort. Uh, what I was thinking of, though, is like, a couple years ago, I had something from Arby's that just tasted absolutely horrible. And I have never had anything from Arby's since then.
Yeah, I've had that experience with Wendy's. There's no Arby's near us. I got to go to Feasterville, and you've been up here, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But that Arby's, that ain't fast food. That shit is fucking gourmet fucking meals as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, the shit I had made me puke, so.
Well, that's probably because of the cooks in the back or some shit like that. But
Then
remember,
Long John Silver's didn't change their oil or something, and the fish tasted horrible. And it's been years since I've had fish from there.
you
So
remember
I'm like,
back, you remember back in the day when you were up here and we were doing we had the tape recorder on the dashboard in your truck,
yeah,
and you went into the Giant, and me and Don were waiting out in the parking lot, and you came back in and went on some rant because they needed like 10 items or less line. They didn't have it because it was late at night.
yeah,
And it's like they need a line for bachelors and people that need like a couple things.
yeah, because I only bought like 3 items.
Right, and
And
you're
I had
behind
to,
people with like a whole shopping cart full of shit, and the bitches got coupons and well,
paying with pennies
yeah.
or nickels and dimes.
Well, hence the self checkout line. That was the solution to that problem.
Yeah, but that was back in the mid 90s, let's face it.
Well, I mean,
Technology back then sucked.
well, we didn't know any better, but I mean, better late than never.
Yeah, and now I'm at the point where I just don't care. I just want to get in and out,
Yeah, well,
get back home.
look how long people were riding horses before they came out with cars, and they were shitty when they first came out.
Oh, yeah.
But now they got
Then
them
all of a sudden, technology just advanced so damn quickly.
right. There's going to be more advances in the first quarter of the 21st century than there were the past like 10 centuries before
Hmm.
combined. So
Yeah,
that's
did you see that this week? There was a study that, some scientists did that ended up curing blind mice.
were there 3 of them?
I don't know. I think they lost their tails, though, from the other experiments.
You didn't get that, did you?
Yeah, I got that.
Oh, okay. You didn't laugh.
But
Okay,
I was,
you got
but
it.
I was preferring a pinky in the brain thing, about laboratory rats.
No, zoink. All right, so that was my rant on assholes. Now we're gonna talk about Batman versus Superman
Versus
Aquaman.
Aquaman versus Wonder Woman versus Cyborg. Who else is in it? I've done forgotten.
Are you looking forward to this thing at all?
Yeah, actually.
Did you? And we're gonna, kind of got to talk about Man of Steel.
Which I told you I actually enjoyed.
See, I didn't like Man of Steel, and I can tell you right now, from what I can tell from that trailer, that a lot of people are getting all excited about. I was like, this is. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I'm gonna definitely say it's not something I'm going to enjoy.
Hmm. So, did you see about Captain America 3 or Captain America Civil War?
Yeah, Civil War.
Yeah, is that basically the precursor to Avengers?
Right.
Because pretty much all the Avengers are in it, including new characters like Ant-Man and Black Panther, and I forget who else. Spider-Man. Uh, shit, I can't even remember who else. Be cool if Doctor Strange popped up in there, though, but I'm guessing they're going to wait till his debut movie.
Well, that's why they're debuting Ant-Man now. What do you think of that trailer?
I actually think it looks like it'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, that's what I think. See, I like, and I guess it's a matter of preference of the comic books that you like to read too, or just things you like in general. But I like the fun Marvel movies a lot more than the brooding dark.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely enjoyed the first two Nolan Batman films.
See, I liked Dark Knight Rises more than The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight Rises, it's not that I didn't like it, it's just I couldn't understand what the two main characters, Bane and Batman, were saying.
Well, remember, Bane had a muffler on, or a muzzle on, and Batman was being voiced by Larry Murphy, after Assy McGee had went off the air.
Where is he? Sanchez.
So it's like
Did you ever think about where this thing goes?
yeah, well, I couldn't understand. It was like an Ed Wood film where the main characters are unaudible, so I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I saw it at home, so I heard it pretty clear.
That and anything that I did understand Bane saying, I'm like, is that fucking
So, did you see Age of Ultron?
No, not yet.
Neither did I. I'd like to, though.
I might, if I get a chance, maybe either tomorrow, Sunday, or next weekend, because I work during the week. If I can
Yeah.
I'll go see it at like a early matinee, so I only have to pay
Yep.
$7,000 instead of the $42,000 to get in to see it.
Yeah. Plus, I like going to matinees because there's not as many people.
Right. I remember you and crowds going to the movie theaters. One thing you would always say is, "I wish I had one of them big clubbing spears that they used to kill the seals."
At the beginning of Faces of Death.
Well, you said at the beginning of every movie.
Yeah, but I just mainly remembered from Faces of Death where they're clubbing the baby seals.
Remember when we went to the horror convention and that one guy sold, they were stuffed animals of clubbed dead baby seals?
Yeah.
That guy was fucked up.
You remember I got into the argument with that guy who showed all the trailers and about the Eaters of the Dead? And I was like, it's being called the 13th Warrior now. And he kept saying it wasn't. It was still Eaters of the Dead.
I wish I had gone seen that movie in the theater. I have it on DVD. I saw it. They just recently played it on either Sci-Fi Channel or Spike or TNT or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool movie. Isn't that based on a Michael Crichton book?
Yes, it is. And the book, Michael Crichton book, was called Eaters of the Dead. And I remember, I forget what movie we went to go see, but there was a trailer for it.
Yep.
And at the time, the movie title was of the same title, Eaters of the Dead.
Yeah, and then they changed it because they, focus test it, and that title wasn't too appealing to mass audiences, so they went with 13th Warrior.
the reason I didn't go to see it. Another interesting thing about that movie is it cracks me up that you have Antonio Banderas, who is a Spaniard playing an Arab.
Yeah, but at least you did have one Arab in it, playing an Arab.
Is the old dude
Yeah,
who could speak Greek in the beginning.
yeah, the
Y-
shit, I can't remember his name.
I know who you mean. You don't have to.
Was it Omar Sharif?
I don't know. Could
I,
be
I can't remember.
Omar from Family Guy. I don't know, but it just cracks me up that they get a. But as long as he has an accent that isn't sound like American. It'd be funny if he's like, "Hi, how y'all doing? I'm an Arab."
So yeah, I don't know if you heard about the butt hurt that some people got when Godzilla came out because there wasn't enough Asian people in it.
No, I didn't hear that complaint.
Yeah, I heard that complaint before the movie even came out. But what got me is, have you seen the trailer for Attack on Titan?
The live action movie?
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I think that's a bad idea.
Well, it's being made by the guy that did the effects for the Godzilla movies from 2000 on.
But the thing I don't get about that is they haven't even completed the series in anime, at least as far as the English dub.
Well, you know how popular that show is over there, don't you?
Well, no, I live
Well,
here.
that anime and show, it's the biggest thing over there right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
hell, Universal's having a theme park attraction for it.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's how popular it is.
Well, that's weird. When you've had stuff that's been around for decades, like Gundam and shit like Inuyasha and all the other animes and stuff like that, and that I mean, it's a great anime, but it's just another anime. It's like why make that one when it's not? I know it's completed or more more episodes have been out in Japan, but why would they jump on that? And here's another thing I want to ask you is I don't know if you agree with me, but like, what's the thing with taking every other medium, being comic books, video games, cartoons, anime, other things, anything that isn't live action, and it has to be live action
You know the main reason behind it?
because people are assholes?
Money.
Right. If they make
If it's popular and they can make a dime on it, you know they're going to.
well, I think it's less about making a dime because they could make a feature-length animated movie, and as many people will go see it as a live-action film, other than the mouth breathers who go, "Oh, it's a cartoon. I ain't gonna watch it." But
Yeah, but you know what though? That trailer actually shows a lot of production value went into that film.
yeah, well, a lot of movies have production. Fucking Transformers movies have lots.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a Japanese movie. I'm still in the mindset from most of them from the 60s or 50s through 70s, where the science fiction was handled rather cheaply.
Yeah. But
And let's face it, there still are films over there that are handled real cheaply. But I mean, they're really shelled out on the production design because it, looks really nice.
that's the thing.
But you've watched the show, and isn't almost all the characters of European descent?
Yeah, they're like.
Except for the one girl, because they even say she's from back when there used to be Orientals.
Yeah, she's the one with the superpowers.
Yeah.
But the main character that I don't know if he's supposed to be Asian or Italian or whatever the fuck he's supposed to be, but his buddy with the blonde hair, he's obviously of Germans, like Scandinavian descent.
Well, and also all their names. Aaron.
Sounds like Aryan, doesn't it?
Yeah. What's the one guy? The blonde's name? I forget his. But she's the only one with a Japanese name.
and of course she has magic ninja samurai powers because she's Asian.
Yeah.
She knows kung fu. All Asians know kung fu.
And there's the big guy himself coming in to roar. But going back, how come no one's making a stink that everyone in Attack on Titan is Asian or, Japanese? I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's because it's being made in Japan.
Personally, I don't give a shit.
Like
Just so they cast it right.
Yeah, just like the 2014 Godzilla movie was an American film, so they had more Americans in it. Just like Star Wars was made in fucking England, and everybody in it is a fucking English motherfucker.
Well, almost everyone.
Right. Except for R2-D2.
Well, and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and
right.
Harrison Ford.
But Obi-Wan is a fucking
Grand Moff, whatever, Tarkin.
Right. Fucking
Peter Cushing.
Right.
That was Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus.
Whatever.
Hey, I like that name, Darth Tyrannus.
The fucking dude who played Darth Vader in the suit was a fucking English guy. All the fucking extras were English guys, or Brits or whatever.
Yep, the Ewoks were English.
But here's back to the thing I was talking about. Now I know it. You have your own, like you like to watch Traces of Death and all that shit. But for me, like watching,
I don't really watch them anymore.
Yeah, but I know, like I never watched that shit. But like for me, when I'm watching anime, when people are dying and stuff like that, there's another degree of separation.
Yeah.
Because it's artwork. It's it's not a cartoon, I'm saying, but like it's animated, so there's like a degree of separation compared to like a movie like like Saw, where people.
Yeah, well, you know what happens when I watch Saw?
You get bored.
I'm like, no, I enjoy most of the Saw movies.
Okay. I figure after watching Traces of Death, you'd be like, I like
the characters and what?
Get it? I already saw this.
Oh yeah. But no, I like the characters in it, and I actually like Part 4 because it kind of played out like a mystery, but it ran parallel to Part 3, which was kind of cool.
Well, I don't know. I can't watch that stuff.
No, but I'm saying when I watch it, all the gore, I'm like, that's Cairo syrup, that's latex or silicone. That's definitely digital.
Right. Well, that's kind of like what I do when I'm watching animation. Is like, oh, it's not real, but like, and obviously I'm watching live action movies. I know it's not real, but I am definitely one of those people who get real immersed in the film. Like, so, even unless it's like a trauma movie where you can see all the strings and like the gear.
Oh, I watched a movie a couple of days ago where they literally showed the strings. It was a Japanese movie called Death Kappa.
But that stuff. Anyways, that stuff's just a little too harsh for my tastes. I understand that there's other people don't mind, but for me, like even a movie that I'm just saying in general. When I watch a movie, I'm not watching it. I am fucking in it.
Yeah.
So like even like not a gory movie, but like I'm watching like fucking Lawrence of Arabia. I'm totally immersed in the fucking film. So to sit there,
I don't get that level anymore. I'm still looking at the technical shit. But then also going by entertainment value. Because if I'm going to get bored, I'm going to find something else to watch. But there's nothing else for me to do, so
But when I'm watching stuff, I'm totally like what they call it, emotionally invested. Watching it, even like trying to explain an episode of some anime, which is a I know it's not a cartoon, but like these, obviously like our live action movie, the people aren't real, the characters aren't real people. But when you get to anime, they're not even fucking real people at all, and I start to get misty-eyed when I'm trying to explain about, you know.
Well, you're talking about stuff that disturbing. Those horror movies don't bother me, don't faze me.
Well, they never did.
Well, except two.
To what? Saw 2?
No, Necromantic. That fazed me. And Human Centipede 2, I had to look away from. Probably because it was the whole fecal thing. Spewing out of where faces were stapled to, asses.
I don't watch any of that stuff. I'm more into like a psychological thriller, like something like a Hitchcock film.
Well, there's those kind of things where you watch it to say that you've seen it. And that's pretty much what that was.
I'm comfortable with saying that I have not fucking seen it.
Human Centipede 1, there's nothing really in that movie. No real gore. And it's actually more funny than it is anything else. But all this shit people think's scary or disturbing doesn't faze me. What fazes me is frickin' shit in children's films. Like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That movie still just is unsettling to me.
When Gustav gets stuck in the chocolate tube or whatever the fuck is in
No, that tube they go through.
The tunnel.
Yeah, the tunnel. Where it's just a real bad acid trip going on in it. And then the whole Oompa Loompas.
A couple lights on in the room, dude. You're getting a epileptic seizures. That's what's happening to you.
Well, and also, they're showing chickens getting their heads cut off and shit like that.
It's been a while since I've seen it. The full theatrical version. I've seen it more times on regular TV, so that's the version that stands out in my head. Whirling, twirling,
Also, the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, the Oompa Loompas were just disturbing on any level.
Yeah. But the
Grunkalunkas.
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, that Tim Burton abortion.
Never seen it.
I saw half of it. That's all I could take.
I don't need to see it. I seen the original film with Gene Wilder, and I didn't read the book, but the book was read to me when I was a kid in like fucking school and whatever. And what else do I need? Why do I need the same story retold to me another time?
I just wanted to see how Tim Burton did, and it was Tim Burton.
It's exactly what you could expect.
And it was one of his continued downward spirals.
I remember that back in the day, went to the theater to see something, and they had a trailer for The Corpse Bride.
That was his last movie I liked. That and Big Fish.
Well, I never seen the film, but I was there in the theater, and they show, clips from the film or whatever like that. And if you ever know what I'm talking about, The Corpse Bride, right? And then near the end of the trailer, they say, from Tim Burton, the creator of The Nightmare Before Christmas. I was like, no shit. I wasn't gonna guess it was Brian De Palma.
Yeah, but
it's Tim Burton.
Everybody says Tim Burton did Nightmare Before Christmas when it was actually I can't remember his name.
Well, I don't know if they said the creator of Nightmare Before Christmas or whatever like that, but they said.
Oh, they probably did.
From Tim Burton, and I was like, I didn't think it was Michael Bay or it's obviously Tim Burton. Look, it's fucking claymation, stop motion, whatever the fuck it is, and it's
just like Frankenweenie.
Yeah, it might have been Frankenweenie because that stuff's obvious too. Like I'm saying, it's like I did.
And also, didn't you see the old short film he did, Frankenweenie? But it was live action.
No.
And no budget.
You know what I watch anymore?
What?
Because whenever I turn on the TV, I don't have a DVR and like shit like that. So when I'm watching TV and there's fucking 16 minutes of commercials and you forget what the fuck you're watching. And then you say, okay, I'm getting bored. I'm gonna flip the channel, and then you hit the button that brings up. All right, I don't want to watch that. Don't want, you're flipping through the things, and you go, oh, there's something that might be interesting, and you turn to that channel, and it's fucking commercials. So
I guess that's why I keep watching, what's it called? Either DVR or, tried out Hulu, and I think I'm going to keep it.
well, even shit, then you watch it on the internet. I don't know about Hulu, but like other shit that you watch on the internet, all that shit's got. You got to sit through 8 minutes of commercials, and sometimes it's the same commercial 5 times in a row. And
So far on Hulu, the shows I watch, it's usually 1 or 2 commercials.
But it's the same like fucking Tide Clorox bleached laundry detergent commercial twice in a row.
Usually it's something for like the Microsoft Surface or...
Well, I'm sure there's cookies on there that know, you fucking buy this or you buy that or you click on shit for that, so they're going to show you an ad for whatever, McDonald's.
Oh, but remember, I don't use a computer, so I don't get all those ads.
What do you have, a fucking tinfoil hat?
No, I use a tablet and...
But that's a computer.
Sort of, but it's...
An abacus is a computer.
Yeah, but it doesn't do... like fucking YouTube, I don't go on the internet and on a browser and watch it.
Oh.
It's its own separate program.
Well, I'm poor. I don't have a DVR. I don't have all that shit. And when you go on YouTube, like, they say, oh, the new Batman versus Superman trailer is out, which is a commercial, and you go online to see it, as an example, and you got to sit through a fucking 30-second commercial to watch a 15-second fucking trailer.
Usually when I watch
You're
YouTube,
watching a fucking ad in the first place.
They have an ad that after 5 seconds you can usually skip.
Yeah. And a lot
I do have to admit that Geico ad is pretty clever.
Yeah, what, where they freeze frame in the air?
Yeah, well, the one with the dog I like. The family at the dinner table.
Right, you can't skip this ad because it's already over.
And then the dog comes and eats the food.
Yeah. There's a couple.
I don't know. It's just the dog makes me laugh.
But anyways, back to my point of like commercials on shows. I watch a lot of Turner Classic Movies because there's no commercial interruptions.
Mm-hmm.
They play all the commercials in between the things, and it's not always something I might necessarily watch, but if you're a true movie connoisseur, it may not be a lot of times they are great movies, but it may not be a great movie, but it's a good movie if you have you don't have a strict preference of films. You just like good movies in general. That's always something to pop on and say, oh, what's on TCM? They might be playing My Fair Lady, or Marty with Ernest Borgnine, or Lawrence of Arabia, or fucking Seven Samurai, or it might.
Speaking of Seven Samurai, on Hulu they've got the Criterion Collection, and they got a shitload of Kurosawa's movies on there, like Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, The Hidden Fortress. What's his one that was basically Macbeth? Throne of Blood? Is that it?
I don't know.
I think maybe Ron, and I can't remember what else. And what's nice about the movies, they don't play commercials during them, just TV shows.
Yeah.
So that's at least nice.
All right. So now on to our last pre-planned topic of the thing. And this is something that other people may not care about. But I want to talk about our previous projects, because now that we've, I've posted a lot of them on there and we've sat there and watched them. Boy, were they bad.
Yeah, but they made me laugh.
Yeah, well, I love amateurish shit. I love Bob and Doug McKenzie, which is
Well, speaking of amorous shit, I watched a movie last night where the framing was bad, or the blocking was bad. The half the time it seemed like you could spot the camera's shadow. Bad edits. Where they edit it too soon or edit it too late.
so you're
You know,
watching one of our things,
yeah, but it was called Night of the Naked Dead.
Night of the Naked Dead.
Yeah, and it kind of lied.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Was they naked?
There were some. It didn't last long.
And plus, they were not worth looking at, huh?
Oh, yeah, the one was. And she was the one covered over the first. She did full. At least some of the acting wasn't as horrible as other movies I've seen there. Where literally they are talking like this. Yes,
Oh,
I remembered my script.
well, that's the thing is, our acting wasn't that bad. It's just that nothing was really planned ahead of time, and it was more
Yeah.
of like a learning experiment of what not
Yeah,
to.
and it was just I thought there was a lot of good little jokes in there.
Yeah, and the fact that we know because we made them is that we're making the shit up on the fly is what made it. Which I don't know if people get the same rush out of it that I get, but
Well,
I do.
considering how long it's been since I've seen those,
Right.
that is like I don't even remember half that shit.
Yeah, you could watch it last week and still not remember. So
That's true because I have memory lapses due to brain lesions.
that, and you have memory lapses too.
Yes. The only way they can fix it is a very complicated operation that they don't want to damage your skull, so they have to go in through your rectum.
Are you kidding or are you serious?
That's actually a quote from a semi-quote from a movie.
Oh,
From Hot Shots. You remember John Cryer's character?
no, I don't remember.
He had a walleye where everything looked like the peephole through your door.
I don't remember.
Well, that's how the only way they could cure him was they didn't want to damage the ocular sockets, so they had to go in through the rectum.
Oh. Well, I know I've seen it. I know I've seen part two, but I couldn't fucking tell you what happened in the movie.
I just remembered some of those shit because I thought it was funny.
I don't know
how blue and immature my humor level, or
I don't know about you, but I save my movie stubs. I haven't gone to the movie theater too much recently in the past few years because I'm poor and shit like that. But like I have movie stubs. Like I have my movie stub from when I went to go see The Crow.
I got them somewhere. I don't know where they are.
And when you and I and Don and sometimes Mike Wattis would hang out, and like every Friday night or Saturday night we'd go to the movies because that's what 20-year-olds did, 30-year-olds, young 30s. And like I went through them and looked at them. I was like, I know that I've seen this movie because I have the stub to it, but I was like, the title doesn't sound familiar. I couldn't tell you what the fuck the movie was about, who the fuck was in it.
By the time I was 30, I wasn't going to the movies on Friday night. I was working at the movies on Friday night.
Right.
Because that's the only damn job I could find in this city.
Well, it was shortly after you went back down south. I mean, me and Don went to go see some movies, me, Don, and Jay, or I would go to the movies with Stace or whatever like that. But after that, it's like kind of depressing to sit in the theater by yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's why I haven't gone to see the Avengers because it was not that you were going to the movies because you wanted to see the movie necessarily. It was because you were hanging out with your friends. Oh, what do we do? Oh, let's go to the movies.
Well, now when I go to the movies, I need someone to help me get to the movies because
Right.
I can't drive anymore. I can barely walk, so I need someone to be there to make sure I don't go in different directions.
And now you got the internet. You can just watch a
Yep.
bootleg.
Well, I haven't watched bootlegs.
But
Uh,
a lot of
but I used to be able to watch them for free. So,
a
I'd
lot
make
of
that up.
movies, a lot of movies, if it flops in 3 months, it's out on DVD,
Hmm.
and you can rent it for $1 from Redbox instead of paying the $17.50 or whatever the fuck it is to go in the theater and see it.
Well, a lot of times, like I said, when somebody came in to replace me from work or, take over my shift,
Yeah.
when it was over, if they didn't have a parking stub so I could get out for free, I wasn't paying $8. Uh, I would just go watch a movie. And then, by the time the movie was over, the parking lot was shut down, so parking was free.
There you go. Free porching
So,
you back.
and also, if it wasn't, I had now had a movie ticket, and that got me out for free.
Oh. Well, back to the topic of our movies, because you had the only copy of, I think Stacy has a copy or whatever, of Kung Fools, and it just blew my mind because, I'm, not to rub it in or anything, I ain't as bad off as you, but with the arthritis and all, I'm definitely not that nimble, and it just blew my mind at how high I was able to kick and how we were running around and jumping and like you said, you could barely pick up a empty soda bottle, and
Well, not opening a soda bottle
that
was
just blows my mind because in Kung Fu, you're picking me
I'm
up and throwing me through the air, and
like a rag doll.
yeah, I was like, oh, maybe that's why my back hurts now.
My back hurts from a car wreck from 13 years ago. But yeah, like I said, I was still very strong. Uh, this one guy I worked with, he wasn't that strong, and I played a little joke on him, asking him to take this trash bag out. And I held it up, my arm was straight, and he was on a staircase coming down from cleaning the theater. And I'm just holding the bag out straight, and he just leans out and casually takes it, and I nearly pulls him down the stairs.
That ain't nice.
Another time, I bet him to arm wrestle me, and he said only if it was two-handed.
Yeah.
So he's using two hands and not budging me. And I get a evil thought in my head, and I just let my arm go limp. And, he's putting his full weight into it and ends up falling on his ass. But what's funny was when he fell on his ass, he literally slid about 3 or 4 feet. The other people around us just was laughing so hard they were nearly crying.
Well, hey, man, we all can't be Heracles,
No. And I'm like, well, look on the bright side. Technically, you won. Because my knuckles did touch there before yours did. They're like, yeah. You can now say you beat me at arm wrestling.
Yeah, but what you keep in mind is like for little stick boys like me, if they bring back the dinosaurs like in Jurassic Park, I have a higher likelihood of being able to squeeze them into tight spaces to avoid being eaten by the tyrannosaur, whereas you're just gonna be lunch meat, buddy.
I'm not gonna be lunch meat. I'm gonna be a chicken nugget.
Wow.
A big chicken nugget. Chicken strip.
So like all things being equal, like you weren't having your physical ailments like they are. Back to the topic of Attack on Titan. What would you do if you lived in that universe? Would you fucking run and hide in fear? Would you be like Aaron and want to take them on?
I don't know. I'd probably go underground first of all. Build up a defense and then wait. And then, once Because, like, you remember what I always said
That's a good
and
point.
did, is it's better to have them come to you than you waste the energy going to them.
But like, say they're like attacking. I mean, back to like the Attack on Titan universe. Although that's a good point. Why would they build walls? Wouldn't they just fucking live underground with like
Like, there's got to be mountains nearby. A cave system you can start, uh, you know, chiseling out.
Well, I guess that's like within the logic of that universe that But like once they built the city and they built the walls, why didn't they start tunneling down?
Mm-hmm. Like, build all your structures underground.
Yeah,
Like
and maybe
15, 20 feet underground or deeper.
and just have a small portion of your town be above ground so that you can go out in the sunlight and get your vitamin D and grow your crops and shit like that.
Yep. Well, that's what I was going to say. Grow your crops. And also, I would use a mirror system and holes to, you know, get natural light down there. Might not get your vitamin D, but at least it would be better than burning torches.
I would like to think that I would be like Aaron and want to fucking take them on. If you're gonna
Everybody dreams of being the hero.
right.
But in reality, you're going to do whatever it takes for self-preservation.
Or blow your brains out like that one guy in like episode 9 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the show. Never read the manga. Gotta say, though, I just don't understand why the Titans look like humans without junk.
Well, it's very speculative because I haven't read the manga either, but it seems like it's alluding to because of the fact that Aaron and then that other
girl can turn into them, that they're man-made.
That they are right. There was probably at some point humans were, the Japanese and how they all are is that the humans were fucking up the planet. And so somebody engineered the Titans to fucking take the humans out, and
why not just have Hedorah come in and take care of it?
Well, because then they wouldn't have the show Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but funny thing is, the movie's put out by Toho.
Well, it's got big monsters in it, so and it's
yeah. Yeah, you liked
but back to the point
Neon
of
Genesis, didn't you?
Beyond Genesis.
Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of, sort of.
Well, I mean, besides when the guy kind of had his nervous breakdown and the show went weird.
That was every episode.
Yeah, but how it started out.
Yeah, it was. I didn't not like it. I definitely watched it. I wasn't a huge fan of Evangelion.
I'd say as a fan of it, I wasn't a huge fan. Not like I am of other things. But that's the guy that's doing G16.
Oh.
Him and the guy that's doing Attack on Titans, doing the special effects for it.
The ones I like the most are as far as animes, is anyone where the not necessarily the main character, but like somebody's got a giant fucking sword.
Inuyasha.
So Inuyasha, Bleach. I get a little tired. That's again just my personal thing of like I call it the demon school anime. There's all these high school students who are demons or are fighting demons or whatever like that. Although I did like what was that called? Blue Exorcist.
Blue Exorcist.
Blue
Yeah.
Exorcist was good, but there was another one, Soul Eater.
Yeah, but I like Soul Eater.
It was just like it felt
where
like
they were trying to make where if you collected so many souls, the guy would become the Grim Reaper's scythe.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
just
I like that show. You know, there's a second series out of it with new characters.
it just felt like I had already seen so many things like that. It had different elements from different animes and just combined it together, and it's just like,
Also, I kind of like the art style where it wasn't, you know, like typical anime looks to it, especially like in the backgrounds and stuff.
you know, Stacy complained to me one time. This was back when the original Naruto was airing on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
How all anime looks the same.
Hmm.
And first of all, no, not all anime looks the same. When I watch some Shin-Chan.
Oh,
But second
that
of all,
show is funny as hell.
it's like, well, you got to understand that they have like they all go to like the same schools to learn how to draw. First of all, and
Yep.
there's like a universal like they,
And usually it's based off of the artwork, and you got, or the manga, and it's got a team, so they can crank out how many issues a year.
right. And that was my other point. I was like, do you complain that all the characters and all the different Marvel comic titles, whether it be Spider-Man or Thor or this, that, and the other thing, it kind of all looks the same?
Yep.
That's because
Especially in the 90s.
right, because this was
Well, and in the 50s and 60s.
right. This was the early millennium, right? Well, like all the stuff in the '60s, the stuff in the '60s didn't look like the stuff in the '90s. But no matter what
No.
title you're reading in the '60s, it looks like they could all, for the most part, there were maybe a couple that were different.
Yep.
But but if you have a keen eye, Dragon Ball Z doesn't look like Naruto. It doesn't look like Cowboy Bebop.
No, it's because of what's his name? Akira. Can't
Toriyama.
remember. Yeah. It's because of his art style.
His was
It's
a little bit more cartoony.
yeah, and
Cowboy
I think
Bebop.
that's why I liked those games he did, or he did the art, the designs for them, like Chrono Trigger and the Dragon Quest games, or the later on Dragon Quest games.
Yeah, and if you pay attention, not only the artwork, but like the color palette that they use for Dragon Ball Z
Hmm.
is all like that old school, like you would say like an '80s cartoon or comic book.
Yeah,
Like the reds were kind of like red was like a red, like a balloon red. It wasn't like a deep red or
yeah.
anything like that. Yellows were yellow, red was red, blue was blue.
It's kind of primary color,
Yeah,
more primary color.
you know,
Oh, I bet you're excited though, ain't you?
for
For next year?
the new Dragon Ball series.
Yeah,
I
first one in 18 years.
I'll wait till I see it. I've been disappointed by so many things in my life in general that I don't my expectations don't get
High.
yeah,
I put it this way, my expectations no longer exist.
right.
I just like, if it helps me kill 30 minutes, you're good. If it helps me kill 2 hours, you're all right.
I want to say most of my expectations were killed when we went to go see Lost in Space movie.
Yeah, I enjoy that movie on the camp factor.
Right, but like we were younger then, so I don't know what we were expecting, but like
Yeah,
all that was a cash grab. That like right around that era because they started pumping, oh, what's a popular TV series from 10, 20, 30 years ago?
yeah, thank God the Gilligan's Island movie never came to fruition.
But oh, while we're talking about Gilligan's Island, Marianne or Ginger?
Marianne, of course.
Oh, I do Ginger.
Well, Ginger for the hair, but Marianne for the look.
Neither of them are bad.
As I got the thing for the
Why's it gotta be
redheads.
or?
What's that?
Why's it got to be Marianne or Ginger?
Why can't it be Marianne and Ginger and you watching?
There, right? That's what I'm.
And then you get invited. Now, if Miss Hal comes into the mix, there may need to be some, fermented coconut milk involved.
Well, if
And
you were
whatever that
living on
kind
a
of
deserted
weird,
island for 6 years, you wouldn't care.
yeah.
You might as well you'd be willing to take just the coconut.
Well, did you ever see, I think they did this on Family Guy, but about Castaway, with the volleyball.
Wilson,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. How come he didn't have a hole in his mouth?
Uh,
I think they did that in Family Guy or some cartoon they did that in.
I know they parodied Castaway and Family Guy. I don't remember.
They've parodied it several times.
But most of my expectations got killed right around that era when Lost in Space, and I'm sure there was a couple other that came out. But then my expectations were completely crushed with the first Transformers film.
Yeah, by that point I didn't give a shit anymore.
Well, that was like,
Life had already crushed me, so.
oh, I'm sorry. I was expecting a live-action version of the animated film from 1980.
Oh, I knew we weren't getting that.
Well, I was hoping against all hope, and I went to go see it with a friend, and at the end, I was like, I think that was the worst movie I ever saw. And he's watched like trauma movies with me, and I was like, legitimately, I've never been. It's not that the movie was bad; it's that the movie pissed me the fuck off. And he's like, I thought it was pretty good, and I was like, yeah, no.
I always say it was entertaining.
No, it wasn't entertaining to me. Being pissed off is not entertaining to me.
See, I wasn't pissed off because I just didn't care.
Well, I don't care anymore now, but
Now, I will say, I know I watched Transformers 4, but I do not remember a damn thing about it.
neither does anybody else.
I think the only thing I can remember was that it was kind of long.
Yeah, it was the longest one of the four. It was 167 fucking minutes long,
Jesus.
and I never seen it.
Oh shit, that makes me laugh.
Let's go back to
Now I will say G.I. Joe was a total abortion.
I didn't see that till it was on live action TV, or live action TV. I didn't see it till it was on regular.
I saw it with a group of people I worked with, and most of them liked it. I'm like, what the fuck was with the Star Wars thing at the end, but underwater, and the robot suits?
Yeah, the mech suit things or whatever the fuck they were called were dumb. I could see that being something that they would do in the cartoon. The one thing that they did get right was when they were at the G.I. Joe headquarters, and they showed like all the different levels and all the different gadgets that they had, although they weren't exactly the ones they had in the cartoon. Like they got the general ideas right. But what I want to know is if you have the rights for the name G.I. Joe, and I only got to assume this, why didn't they get the rights for the likenesses? Because Cobra Commander did not.
Well, you didn't see part 2, did you?
No, because I seen the first one.
Yeah, well, part 2's kind of trying to make up for the first one, where Cobra Commander has on the silver mask.
Oh, really?
And he talks and he's actually kind of evil this time around.
But did it look?
Yeah, it was like a realistic version of it, where it's more darker blue, but still, the chrome went all the way, completely covering the face.
Oh.
There was no skin seen whatsoever on him.
Because I've seen like pictures of people in cosplay dressed up like Cobra Commander and
where it looks exactly like from the cartoon.
And it's like, why didn't they fucking hire these people to design the costumes for the? And the only thing I think is if like people can do this in their
also, it's got the hiss tanks in it, and they sort of resemble the hiss tanks. Not 100%, but at least there's enough to make you go, oh, there's a hiss tank.
Well, the reason I can imagine that they would make it so different in that first G.I. Joe movie is for whatever reason they didn't have the rights to the likenesses of the characters. Because why would
No,
they just
it's
changed?
because they had idiots deciding how to make it. And this one, the guy that came in for the second one goes, yeah, we're going to make it this way. At least try to keep some stuff from the cartoon. But we'll acknowledge the first one.
You know what's the best version of G.I. Joe?
What's that?
You ever see Resolute?
No.
It's animated, and how I would describe it
That's
was
not the new one, is it?
it's not new anymore, but how
Or
I
is
would
that that one that was on Adult Swim?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. That one was good.
Yeah, how I would describe it was like how I played with my GI Joes.
Same here.
Like in the cartoons, they would fire lasers and no one would get hit.
Mine fired bullets since it looked
You're
like they
right.
were
That's what I'm
holding
saying. My
M16s.
guys fired bullets and people died and arms got blown off and
How many Cobra, like just the grunts did you have? Just so you
no.
could play it. I actually had quite a few.
Well, you know, every once in a while they'd break, either an arm would pop off or the rubber band would snap or something like that, and you'd still save the guy,
And now he was the,
first guy to get killed.
yeah, or had a really bad injury.
Right.
He's now on the corner panhandling. And I'm sad to say I had that. But also, when I was playing with my G.I. Joes, I also had something else to worry about that usually interrupted my fun, and that was my cat sinking its claws into the side of my head and its teeth in the back of my head. Just because I rolled a toy, one of the Jeeps across the floor, and he's like 8 feet in the other direction. Instead of going after the Jeep, he went after me. Same thing happened with Transformers.
Your cat needed like Vicodin or something.
I don't know what that cat needed. I don't know what it did to my brother. He didn't like cats well, I don't think he still really likes them. No, I'm not going to have a cat. Oh.
But back to our projects.
Yes.
I like the one where you and Don meet me as an alien.
Yeah, it was just so stupid.
Well, I like the fact that in the beginning it's a snow.
Just like a big frisbee disc.
It's one of those little snow sleds. But you actually, like, right before the cut, you hear somebody saying, "Okay, I got it," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's like a couple jump cuts, and it like just goes absolutely nowhere, and then it ends.
Yeah. I don't know why though. The one that the repair shop made me laugh.
I think we were all tired at that point.
Yeah, but just the shit that was coming out of our mouths. I mean, nothing was going on in it, but just a bunch of funny things was being said.
Well, I think that's the best line in any video anywhere made by anyone is, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hold on. Let me see what you got going through your wallet there."
Was that what I said?
Yeah. When I uploaded the video to YouTube, you can put a description, and instead of writing a description, because the title is basically that didn't even never had a title, but I had to call it something when I put it on YouTube, so I called it the Maniac Mechanics. But then when I asked for a description, and all the ones I would pick one quote out of the skit that was like crazy, and you had to put that one for that one.
Yeah, I used to have a copy, because remember Don made me some copies before I moved down here, but of Break You University.
See, I don't have that at all. That's what
Yeah, but I don't know where it is, so you know.
he made me some copies, and then he made you copies of other things. Or some
Yeah,
of them,
but I put it in, you know, when I first got a computer when I moved down here and got some video software, I put it on there and I started adding the text to it. And, you know, as he's saying all the shit at the end of it, you know, I'm having the stuff scrolling up as he's saying, and he just starts saying so much weird bullshit that I couldn't keep track of it, so I just started writing question mark. I'm like, okay, that actually enhanced the video.
well,
You know, kind of like the old Saturday Night Live sketch of Buckwheat sings the
yeah,
hits or something
yeah,
like that.
I know what you're talking about.
And just at one point, it's just question marks.
Yeah. Well, I definitely remember shooting it, and I remember watching it after we shot it. But I remember Mary bashing the old typewriter with the sledgehammer. She was lucky she didn't break her damn fingers because she was about an inch or so, or
Hmm.
she was holding the sledgehammer
Is
all
that
like
her name?
Mary. That was Jay's first wife.
He was married to her?
Yeah, and then
I didn't know that.
they got divorced because she didn't want to have kids or something.
Yeah, and
Which I
I
would
know
have
he's
been.
got a kid now.
Yeah, I would have been like, great, me neither. But whatever. And I know there's the whole news on booze.
I don't even remember that one.
Don, somebody played a reporter, and it was the news on booze, and he kept talking about spores in sports.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that the sports guy?
Yeah, and then a couple of things of the green grocer. He was
Yeah.
talking about guns. I don't have any of them. I kind of sort of remember them.
You guys never wanted to do the fecal gourmet.
I don't even remember you suggesting the fecal gourmet.
I do, and you guys just went, no, that's too far. Because, you know, I was talking about having chocolate pudding and shit like that.
This isn't chocolate pudding.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, you know.
I don't remember. That might have been Don's executive decision. Like I don't
Yeah.
have any of them. I wish I did because I would put them up. And then the audio sketches.
Well, I
Don's.
got some real piss poor qualities because they were, you know, I used to have them on my PSP so I could show people. And so, you know, the file size and resolution was real low. So, unfortunately, I don't have the larger files.
I would love to hear the Fagtastic 4 audio.
That disc crapped out years ago, and I have no idea where the tape is.
And then the other one was the one where it was zombies. Do you
I know
remember?
didn't we do something like The Mist? Because Don was so, uh,
I remember Don took the 3D audio mist one, and then he edited in stuff.
yeah, but he wanted to do something like that, and we did, that might have been the zombie one.
That might have been the zombie one because I remember it started out with me and Don smoking grass. Oh wow, man, this is Maui Wowie, man. And then zombies came, and then I remember because he had that tackle box that he kept all his audio equipment in, and we kept slamming it, trying to close the door.
Yeah.
And I was like, it won't close. And Don's like, I closed it. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you got me on, what's it called? Google Plus.
Yeah, I did.
I've actually got those videos on there.
Well, the Kung Fu's, the Zombie Chronicles, and Seeds of Evil.
Yeah.
I went back and watched Seeds of Evil because I was like, I know I came up with the title for that, but I don't remember exactly what we did in there.
I just remember they screwed up my project, so I'm like, all right, we're going experimental. Screw doing a plot.
Is that what happened? Because I remember shooting it, and I was expecting it to be like have
Yeah, 'cause Mike was doing all kinds of weird shit with the camera. He adjusted the f-stop too high so everything was nice and bright instead of being dark and grungy like how I wanted it. That's why you only see snippets of that, like 2 reels of footage I shot. We shot that night. I mean, probably, what is it, 20 seconds of that 4 minutes made it into the final film.
Well, all I know, I remember what we shot and stuff like that, and then I remember the end result, and I was like, I thought it was going to be more of like a narrative.
Oh, it was. It was originally. You remember Demon?
The comic book character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My comic book character.
That's right.
It was supposed to have been like the origin of the Death Warriors, was what it was originally about. But since it got screwed up, I scrapped that idea. I remember, I actually looked at the storyboards for it that I did, because we were going to do action scenes, remember? And gore scenes.
Well, you sound confusing a whole bunch of different things together. I remember GV, we did, you attacked that dude with the chainsaw or whatever.
Yeah.
So that all kind of blurs together. I can't remember, dude. It's been a long fucking time.
I can upload those. I could upload them on Facebook probably if you want me to.
What, the storyboards or the...
Oh, no, not the storyboards. I don't even know where they are anymore. But most of the films, the only ones that isn't on there is...
GV?
No, Demented Visions.
The first one.
Though I did port it, I just never put it on my PSP.
Oh, there is Demented Visions.
Flashback, which was never filmed, thank God. Because, damn, had a couple of cool things in it, but otherwise it came out horrible.
Well, you shot the film, but you never, like, edited it and submitted it or whatever.
No, I edited it. It was just, at that time, I didn't have a camcorder to film the movie.
Well,
as it was being projected.
That was the first.
And the person who was supposed to record it for me was Mike, and he didn't want to leave the 3D render lab, which is running on 286s. Let's see if anybody remembers that crap.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, you remember 486 processors, don't you?
I don't
we
know.
had those in tech school in my senior year and your...
I remember in tech school...
Was it your freshman or sophomore, junior?
10th grade.
I don't remember. I can't even remember what that is.
I get confused about the whole freshman, sophomore, senior shit. But I remember you and Mike working on a computer, and this computer took floppy disks that were the size of fucking...
Yeah, the 5 and so many, inches.
I didn't know they made disks that big.
Mm-hmm.
They were ginormous, because like I seen like what's the next size under that?
The
3.5.
Well, that wasn't the 5. That was the 10-inch ones, I believe.
Yeah, they were like the fucking size of kitchen tiles.
Yeah.
That just blew my mind. And then the computer was like the size of a damn fucking short minibus.
Yeah, and the only color it put out was green.
Yeah. Which is the color you can't see.
So it made things really interesting. Oh, man.
Thank God I took electronics.
Yeah, it really got me far.
Yes. Well, we would have never met.
Yeah. But I think I told you electronics was my 3rd on my list to get into at Bucks.
I would have taken that class across the hall where they actually did like TV
Did
production.
something?
Well, I don't know how much they did over there either, but they had like a little studio thing.
Yeah.
Why didn't you sign up for that? You couldn't get
I
in?
didn't know about that.
Yeah, neither did I.
I signed up for commercial art, photography, and electronics.
And why
I
did you
know Wada signed up for electronics first
why did you end up taking electronics?
because the other two were filled up,
Oh.
and so I got my third choice.
If you had gotten photography, even if I went to the tech school and took electronics, we probably would have never met.
Yep, because electronics was third lunch, and third lunch was the bad lunch.
In that school, I don't care what lunch you had; it was all bad.
Well, remember, I didn't eat there.
Right? You got the stuff in a package.
Yeah, I just bought what was
you
it, a
remember
lemonade and
But you
a
remember,
muffin.
yeah, your muffin. Yeah, I definitely remember that. But I would never remembered there was first lunch, second lunch, third lunch. I don't remember any of that shit.
Well, do you remember what set of... No, we shouldn't talk about that.
Well, what?
People are...
Who?
The
What?
special classes
Oh, what
that
about?
on the one side of the cafeteria, the side you had to cross to get in and eat or get your food and, and all like that. And oh, I remember the one time there was snot being smeared all over the table.
I never really paid attention.
Yeah, and after that, I'm like, I'm not eating really anything here anymore. I'm not going to the lunch into the, cafeteria section. I'm going to go over there to the snack section
I
and get
remember,
a drink and a muffin.
I remember sneaking into the back room and popping out the ceiling tiles and smoking cigarettes. That's what I remember about electronics.
Well, I also remember that one kid that I called it who got the entire class in trouble by having sex with a special needs student
He didn't.
behind the,
He wasn't having sex. He
well,
maybe got,
supposedly, well, she said they were.
well, like that person would know. He
Probably
probably
a
got the
handy.
second. Yeah, well, he probably got the second base or third base or whatever like that.
Yeah,
Danny,
but
pop.
still, we got in fucking trouble.
I didn't. Never got in trouble for it.
No, I meant the class got in trouble. We weren't allowed to do like what we could do was now limited. Like we couldn't go out and socialize anymore, and all that kind of shit.
I don't remember that.
Well, you remember the gas leak, don't you?
No,
Oh, it might have been before your time.
might have been. It could have. I could have been there, dude. I remember. I was baked out of my mind every day. And
Well, there was a
still got,
bad smell came across, and they said it was a gas leak, and everybody came. We actually had to be ushered outside. And back then, I was still, in
that
that phase where nowadays I would have just admitted it that I ripped a hell of a one. Yeah, it was a gas leak, all right, but it's not toxic, just nauseous.
It could have happened while I was there. But so many times because we definitely had to go out more at least twice a year for fire drills and shit like that. So it just kind of all blurred together. Now I remember this was well after we were still hanging out, but you had graduated and was going to college at that point, and I was like a senior.
Yeah.
And at the end of my senior year, they're like, Dave, you're class salutatorian. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'd never heard of that before. I'd heard of valedictorian, but that's like second place to salutatorian. Is a salutatorian? And I was like, really? And they're
How
like,
the hell did that happen?
I was like, you understand that I was baked out of my mind every single day my senior year.
Well, you know what Mike never could believe was that I was on the honor roll for almost my entire high school.
Why not?
He just never believed it.
You show him the
But
fucking papers.
yeah, it was only the 2 times I wasn't. And the one time was, when I had my tonsils out and had some complications from it, and I ended up missing 10 days of school. And the one class didn't grade, they grade on a daily basis, so I lost a good chunk of stuff and failed that semester.
But do you remember, like now when you go to the Bucks County Technical School, you go there all the time.
Oh.
But you remember how it was with us? You would go 2 weeks to the tech school and then 2 weeks to your hometown school.
Yeah, which was good for my school.
Well, it was good for. I love that because the last 3 years of high school just blew by. I couldn't imagine being stuck at either one building or the other all the time.
Well, you've heard about that because my dad told me about it. I was at work at the time. He goes, "Hey, your high school is on the news, on national news."
For what?
I'm like, why? Because the valedictorian, the Crips or Blood were threatening to kill him because he testified. I'm like, nah, I remember that school.
I never heard anything about that. But when I went to, and it was 2 weeks.
Hey, you think we should cut this down, or are we going to continue going on?
Well, let's do a little bit more because I just want to finish my point.
All right.
The 2 weeks I would go to my home school. I'm looking around the corner but the way the school was set up is there was a pool. They had a gymnasium. Well, the gymnasiums were in the main building, but they had a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And that was on like the back of the wing, and you could walk outside from wherever the one building and then go into the pool area. And that's where the bathrooms by the pool is where a lot of the kids went to go smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well, I had my little one-hitter.
One-hitter quitter?
I hear my mom walking around. But anyway, the point was I was baked out of my mind my entire senior year, and they're like, Dave, you're salutatorian. You had a 3.8 GPA. Even baked out of my mind, I was still, not to say that I was that smart, but I was still twice as smart as most of the people in my class.
I still remember when I was in chemistry class in my senior year.
Yeah.
I didn't do shit except take the tests. I sat in the back and played Game Boy or played Asshole, if you remember that card game, with a group of people. And one nerdy kid that was in all my classes said, some of us came here to learn. And I'm like, good luck doing that at this school. The teacher could never believe that how I was doing. I was getting all my answers without showing the work, because I just looked at the same problem happened with me in geometry class. Because I'm more of a visual guy, and I could put together the patterns pretty easy and figure things out, and just go ahead and tell you what it was.
Huh.
So he would actually had me one time answer these questions right in front of him to prove that I wasn't cheating or anything.
I never had chemistry.
I had physics and chemistry and biology.
Well, at our homeschool, they assumed that us being tech students, we were so dumb. Like, I remember it was either 10th grade or 11th grade. Like, they didn't even give us reading assignments as homework. They just, the teacher would read the book to us in class. And we had math, which was ridiculous because we were
You had
having
math in tech school?
we had math in electronics, and then we had a math class at the tech school that was just like we were doing like pre-trig,
Yeah.
and the math we were doing at the homeschool was like 8th grade math. But like we had just had like earth science. We might have like got, learned the very basics of chemistry, but we were
Did you have creationist science?
when I went to the Lower Bucks Christian Academy.
Oh man, I'm sorry for you.
That was the hardest thing because like I went to LBCA from pre-kindergarten or kindergarten to 8th grade, and when I went to public school, like English, I was like, I did this 3 years ago. Prepositional phrases and diagramming sentences and
Yeah,
all
well,
that
that's how it was when I moved from from here to up there. I'm in junior high and I'm doing the stuff I did in frickin' elementary school.
But my hardest classes were science because when I went to LBCA, they taught you stuff, but like I remember
Wasn't based on facts.
well, I remember in 9th grade, the first year I went to public school, and the question on the test was, "How old is the Earth?" And from going to LBCA, the answer was drilled into us that no one knows because no one was there.
What is it, 13.5, 13.8 billion?
No, 3 point
No, that's the universe. I'm sorry. The Earth is what, 4 billion?
3.456 billion years old.
So it's getting close to its birthday. We won't be around.
But I remember because there another kid that lived a couple neighborhoods over had also gone to LBCA, so we both wrote that on the test because that's what we were taught at the Christian Academy. And he said something to both of us, and we're like, "Hey, that's what we were taught at school." And he's like, "Where'd you go to school?" And we went, "Laura Bucks Christian Academy."
Yeah, but I thought it was funny that, they're teaching me stuff that I already knew the answers to, that, I'd already learned. I'm like, aren't you supposed to advance my education?
Yeah, like math.
That's when I started actually reading more.
Yeah, well, math and that, especially English, I was like way ahead of compared to when I went to public school. Science was kind of hard because how we were taught or whatever like that. And then what was the other class?
You remember I always had trouble with algebra.
Yeah, I hated algebra too, but once I started taking
But when I went back to college when I turned 30, oh my God, that's almost 10 years ago now. Because I'm 40 this year. Fuck.
well, I'll be 39 in August, dude.
Yeah, well, I'll be 40 in August. Next year, you'll know what it's like, and you'll go, holy shit, where did the time go?
I did that 5 years ago.
I do that every day.
Right.
And not because I forget, because I literally go, damn, I had so much planned. Even when I dropped my, expectations level to near zero. Finding a little dead-end full-time job
History.
was, like...
Yeah, I know. Well, look, dude, look where I work.
Yep. Well, look where I worked.
Yeah. But history was a little weird because when I went to LBCA, we learned a lot about, obviously, biblical times was like our history. We didn't learn about like World War II or World War I or.
Hey, I bet you guys didn't have a class I had when I was down here.
Hunting?
Yep. Hunter's education.
Mm-mm. Where are you gonna go hunting around here?
I know, but one of our field trips was going out skeet shooting, and none of us were all like, what, 11, 12?
Do they still do that?
Giving us shotguns which most of us had never fired before.
An 11-year-old isn't really mechanically progressed enough to operate a shotgun properly because they're designed.
Yeah, and then you also get to see those videos, where somebody accidentally shot someone, showing the actual, like the blood on the highway, but this was with hunting accidents. So, I was kind of exposed to the faces of death stuff when I was real young. Where they show you how to properly, skin a deer and, field dress a deer and other animals.
Well, I remember that was real. In 11th grade, they got into, the birth of America in public school.
Yeah.
And we had talked, learned a great deal about that in private school because the founding fathers, at least how it was taught there, were fairly religious. They were all Christians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and in public school, they're all liberals and secularists. So they teach you, different stuff, and I would constantly be interrupting the teacher and being, well, actually, John Adams, but blah blah blah, George Washington, blah blah blah, pray, which is true, and he would get so pissed off because we spent a great deal learning about the founding fathers because they were all pretty. I mean, compared to nowadays. All right.
Well, also, they were more primitive back then, so,
Right.
it was easier to accept a belief that came from was it the Dark Ages? Or is that, no, the Bronze Age, wasn't it? I forget which age it was.
The Bronze Age would be like Old Testament.
Yeah.
And then Dark Ages were, New Testament, Jesus Christ. And
Yeah. Yeah, but considering the Enlightenment age started in the Renaissance?
Kind of. Well, the Age of Enlightenment is considered the last half of the 17th century, so 1750 to 1800.
Oh, okay.
That was the Enlightenment. That was, and that was the time of the American Revolution. That was Ben Franklin, and George Washington, and John Adams, and James Madison, and Thomas Jefferson. What's his name? Locke? Henry Locke? Tom Locke?
Yep.
Broken Locke? Tom Locke.
All right. Let's cut this off. I think we've rambled too long.
Okay, but hey, it worked this time.
Yeah, it did. Amazing. Maybe we can actually do it again when you're not exhausted and I'm not somewhere else besides sitting here going, what day was today?
All right, well, that's probably going to be like in August, but I'll definitely do more episodes in between now and then. Try and think of topics.
I do. I just forget.
Well, write them
down. Well, I actually do finally have a pad of paper. First pad of paper I've had in a long time.
You have a fucking computer.
Yeah, but let me see. Can I get? Nope. Wait, I can get to one of them, but I never use that one.
Just go on Facebook and say, "Oh, I got a topic," blah blah blah, and then like if you want to talk about the new Avengers movie and I haven't seen it, I don't have a whole lot to talk about, and then you have to give me time.
Well, I haven't seen it, so.
Well, I'm just using that as.
Yay!
All right, man. Well, you have a good night.
All right. You too, dude.
All right. Signing
Later,
out.
everybody.
Signing out from Random Thoughts of Stupidity. Hold on. Here we go. Here are some random thoughts. Here are some random thoughts. Here are some random thoughts of stupidity. Here are some random thoughts. All right, everybody. Good night.